Hi everyone, Mrs. Smith here. Today's video is going to be about how to generate ideas for your research papers. We are currently working on your proposals. Please make sure you go to the proposal journal to read the assignment in detail. If you have questions, make sure you email me. Before we start talking about topics though, I want to kind of refresh your memories on some requirements. So you all get to pick the topics that you're going to explore in your research paper, but there are a few key requirements. First thing, your topics or your claims have to meet these three requirements. They have to be claims that have more than one opinion. At this level, you should be aiming for claims or topics that have multiple viewpoints or multiple opinions. Pretty much, it needs to be arguable. The second requirement, you need to try to be doing one of the purposes of argument. Those four options are to inform, to persuade or convince, to explore, and to win. The most common two are to inform and to persuade or convince. So make sure as you start to choose your topics that your claim within your topic is going to be doing one of the four purposes. The last requirement for your claims/topics to be arguable is that they also need to be something that doesn't have a solution. You need to pick issues that are problematic. There's no working solution in place. Now, I often get asked, does this include things like texting and driving? We have laws in place for texting and driving, but I always ask students, are they working? 99% of the time, that answer will be no. If they were working, we would no longer have people who text and drive. So, texting and driving is still problematic. In addition to these three requirements, you need to make sure you pick topics that are researchable and current. Your research should not be older than 10 years maximum. The actual guidelines say 5 years. So keeping all of that in mind, let's get started. The first place I'm going to show you to go to is a database called Opposing Viewpoints. In English 101, you may have used this for a source. In English 102, that is no longer appropriate. It is a lower level database, more appropriate for high school, but it is a great place to go to get ideas. So you need to go to South Central's webpage. It is simply southcentral.kctcs.edu. Then you will click on Current Students at the top. Once you have clicked on Current Students, scroll down until you see the Library tile. Click on Library. Within the library, we're going to scroll on down. If you know other ways to access this database, that's great. If not, just follow my instructions. So we're going to actually click on Databases under our resource area. Please note that if you are not logged in onto a KCTCS computer, you will have to log in as it prompts you. It'll ask for your username and password, which is the same thing you use to log into your MyPath, to your Blackboard, and to your email. So this option will not pop up for me because I am on a school computer, but if that window should open, just be aware that you have to log in. So I'm going to now click on Databases. You can navigate through here at your leisure, and next week we'll actually have a few videos about how to navigate just one or two of the databases. You have them listed in alphabetical order, so Opposing Viewpoints is under the O's. I'm going to click there. It is the only database listed, so I'm going to click on Opposing Viewpoints. Once Opposing Viewpoints loads, there's going to be several things you'll notice. It'll have featured issues. You'll have a search option. You can change some features at the very top. What we're going to look at are topics because we're just trying to generate some ideas right now. So if you scroll down, you'll see it says Browse All Topics. They also have their topics divided by category. So if you are very interested into health and medicine, perhaps that's going to be your field, you can look at View All and see all of the different topics that fall under health and medicine. This is a great start as far as narrowing down the type of topic you want to look at. If this still isn't really helpful to you, or if you're not quite sure what area you want to look at, you can click the orange, kind of orangey brown, button that says Browse All Topics. This will give you a very long list of all of the topics within opposing viewpoints. You'll notice there are some green, or in some cases yellow, but right now they're green, little informations next to each topic. So these tell you that they've had recent updates or that they're even brand new topics to opposing viewpoints. So this can get you an idea. You see how long the list is, gives you some different things to consider as far as your topics. If you see a topic that kind of piques your interest and you want to look at it a little bit, we're going to pick the Electoral College. So if you click on any of the topics that interest you, it'll give you some information about the topic itself. You can click Read More to get even more detailed information, the history and overview. So this is the type of information you might have used in English 101. This type of information is no longer appropriate for English 102. But it is a good way to get you started, to get you thinking about a topic, and maybe just to get you some general information. You can have this information read out loud to you. You can cite it. You can take notes. But again, remember, this is just for generating topics. This is not going to be used in the research paper. I'm going to go back now to just the Electoral College. If you were interested in this, if you scroll down, you'll see that they have their resources divided up by type for you. So you can watch some videos, you can listen to some interviews, read newspaper articles, get some statistics, look at magazines, be redirected to outside websites. This is a good thing to use for research papers later on. And then they also, towards the top, have some academic journals. These academic journals will be okay, but they are a lower quality, a lower level academic journal. So next week we'll be looking at some more credible, higher level academic journals. But this is a good place to start. If you have any questions about how to use opposing viewpoints, please make sure you email or call me. The next one I'm going to show you is called TED Talks. So I'm going to close my Viewpoints browser. TED Talks website is simply www.ted.com. TED Talks is a more current events, cultural affairs type of website, but they have a lot of great resources. So this is what it'll look like when you log in. Again, you'll have a few key videos. If you scroll down, they have videos and talks on different ideas, different topics. What I want to show you today is at the very top under the Discover tab. When you click on Discover, you'll notice there's an option that says Topics. Explore TED offerings by topic. So I'm going to click here. Similar to opposing viewpoints, you'll have a list of all of the topics contained within TED Talks. TED Talks has a lot of videos and articles. Again, this is not something you would use for a source in a research paper in English 102. It is something, though, that can kind of help guide you as far as figuring out what you want to write about, giving you some basic information to start you in the process of doing your actual research paper. You can see the list is divided alphabetically. There's many categories. And within each category, you're going to have a plethora of options. So these are very broad topics. And within those topics, you have subtopics. And then you actually start to form a claim. So you wouldn't write a massive paper about religion. Maybe if you were a senior at a four-year institution or working on your master's program. But for this class, you would have to pick something within religion. I'm going to scroll back up to the top and I'm going to click on one of these topics just to show you how it works and what it looks like. So maybe I'm interested in discussing autism. When I click on autism, it's going to give you several different topics. So you'll see some articles about autism, and then once you click within those, it opens up even more videos. I'm actually going to go back and go to the autism spectrum disorder. Okay, so this one's a little bit broader, and this is why you have more videos. So you can watch these videos, or one or two of them, to get an idea of the debates or an idea of the issues within the topic autism spectrum disorder. So this is a great way to have something visual from current events. You notice the dates on these are all relatively newer. We do have one that's close to that 10-year mark. But these videos are current, they're popular, and they're going to give you an idea of what are some of the issues within this topic that interest you. That concludes our video for today. There are other ways, of course, you can generate ideas for your topics. You can use regular Google or Google Scholar, but TED Talks and Opposing Viewpoints are going to give you ideas within your topics that are a little bit more scholarly and have some research to them. Remember, you have to be able to research these topics. A final reminder is that for your topics, your claims cannot just be restating claims from other people. Part of our research paper in this class is that you have to contribute to the conversation. That means instead of just restating things that everybody else has already said, you have to add something new. This is why we direct you to TED Talks or to Opposing Viewpoints. They are topics that have not been explored to death, and they are topics that you can still contribute to. So that is what we want you to think of. The 3 requirements for argument: more than one opinion, no working solution. You have to do one of the 4 purposes of argument. It has to be researchable, and you have to say something new. Thanks for watching this video, and as always, email or call if you have any questions.